Hey guys, we are welcoming you to the newest Erasmus guide. Get prepared for the best 5 months of your life.
Ola, you're so right. I just can't wait to show our experiences. But tell me, have you ever been homesick? And if yes, how do you cure it?
Of course, so I communicated with my friends and family back in Kiev. And here we go, the first story about the long distance communication.
In this day and age, it is way easier to communicate than before due to the rise of technology. Thanks to the internet and various social media platforms, we are now able to stay in touch and keep each other updated everywhere and anytime.
Sometimes it is hard to keep in contact, especially if you're in different time zone, you have different schedules, and you're just being busy to reply to someone. But I want to find out how Erasmus students in Zagreb do that.
Julia came to Zagreb to study all the way from Brazil, and while her family and friends are enjoying the sun and 30 degrees on the beach far away, she doesn't seem to mind the distance and winter semester here.
It's really nice that we have all this technology and internet, so I can just talk to them through my watch, my phone, computer. I can see them through video, and that's really nice. And that's how I don't think I would be able to come here to Croatia to study if I wouldn't be able to keep in touch with them.
At this moment, it is 4 p.m. in Zagreb, but 1 p.m. in Brazil. I wondered how Julia copes with that time difference.
Yeah, so I always have the time in my watch, the time here and the time there. So I keep track of maybe when I wake up at 7, there is 4, so it's 3 hours difference. So that's kind of weird because I wake up and I'm always sending voice messages to my mom like, "Yay, good morning," and she's sleeping.
Julia frequently uses her watch to talk to her parents. She recognized this kind of communication can be seen as weird by people in Croatia since they think she's talking to her hand.
Once I was just standing at the tram station and I received a call from my mom and I was like, "Hey mom," and really 3 people just stopped and kept staring at me and then they started like talking among themselves and I don't know what they talked because I don't understand Croatian, but they talked about me. It was really embarrassing.
Dita from Netherlands doesn't seem to have time zone problems, but she also has her ways to contact her family and friends.
Ik heb ook een andere Erasmus vriend en die is zijn rijbewijs kwijtgeraakt. En die kan dus nu gewoon niet een auto huren. I also like to keep in touch with my family and friends back home. And I use a lot of Facebook Messenger and WhatsApp. But since everybody is really busy in the Netherlands all the time, it's hard to do like a Skype call. So I like to do little vlogs, little recordings of my own voice because it's just easier and faster than typing all the things down. It's a bit long and boring. So I like to record my voice and my face sometimes with the vlogs to send them a more personalized message. Ja, wat heb je vandaag gedaan? Ik ben vandaag naar les geweest. What I also like to do is to follow the news, so I can speak about that with my friends, of course, and with my family. It can be as easy as following news on Instagram, which is really short and like every day, really easy. But also like news sites, which I really like, to follow them on the internet and to see what they have to say about the Netherlands.
Just like Dita and Julia, Adam from Poland thinks that the free connection to internet on the university and via various hotspots in the city helps him a lot.
Staying in touch with my close ones isn't actually a big deal, since the Croatia is part of the European Union and I have free roaming here and free internet, so I can use my mobile internet everywhere I want to. Yeah, it's not so hard as I thought it would be. For example, I was in Bosnia recently and the phone calls were very expensive, around 7 zlotys for a minute, so it's much easier here and I don't even think that it's still some kind of a problem. It's just problem with finding time to communicate with other people.
Despite all the ways of fast communication and technology, we shouldn't forget to use some old ways of communication, like writing a letter or a simple postcard. It will take you more time, but it is the most personal way to let someone know that you thought about them. But however we choose to communicate, what matters the most is that our message reaches its final destination.
We have that detail we can a little bit slower so we get.
Do you know where is Dominic?
Oh, if I would know that, I could make a lot of money.
There are many reasons why our Erasmus experience became so special. Sarah, do you maybe want to share some of your experiences?
I definitely do, but I think the best way is to show you my story. Ja sam Sara iz Njemačke. Ich bin Sarah aus Deutschland. I'm Sarah from Germany, but at least it's a little bit more complicated because my parents are from Bosnia. Before I came to Zagreb, I decided to live in a student dorm because I really wanted to have the full Erasmus experience. And my parents also told me that a lot of Croatian people are living in a dorm. So I thought moving to a dorm would be the best to see how Croatians live and how Erasmus people live. Arriving here, it was really strange for me to see that it's like a small campus, because in Germany we're not too used to have student dorms like this. This is like a small world, to be honest. And yeah, I really like it. On my first day arriving here, I had to pick up the key from the reception, and I was looking for the reception maybe 20 minutes, but when I arrived there, I was talking in English to the guy, and I recognized that his English is not so good, so I thought, okay, maybe I should speak in Croatian. So I started to ask him about the key in Croatian, and he was so happy that I changed the languages to Croatian. And he said to me, "Oh, ti si naša?" That means you're one of us.
My parents were born and raised in Tuzla, home to people from different religious backgrounds. In 1991, while visiting friends in Germany, their relatives told them not to go back home. The war was devastating. They lost everything, including their home. Not knowing if they would be allowed to stay, they decided to build up a new life in Berlin. 3 years later, I was born. I spent my whole life in Germany, visiting Bosnia each year. Now I want to discover the Yugoslavian part of my personality in Zagreb. To improve my Croatian, I decided to participate in a full-time Croaticum course. I attend classes every day. I have improved a lot since I started. Even if it's a lot of work, I really enjoy the class and I have a lot of fun with my classmates. Because of Croaticum, I found a lot of friends, some of them with a similar background.
For me, I have a motivation to learn Croatian because my father's from Croatia, but my Croatian right now it's not so good, and for me it's totally different to German, so it's not easy.
No.
Beside faculty, I like to spend time in the city center with my international friend, and it's so special to me to be so close to my grandparents.
I'm going to my grandparents. To Bosnia? Oh, I'm so excited. Yeah. I mean, I would be, because I really want to go to Bosnia as well. Yeah.
One special relation between me and my origin is the food.
Ja, dan meni bude tako.
Može, naravno. Želiš još nešto? Ne. Evo, 6 kuna ti.
Budek was always something special for me, because I could eat it during holidays in Bosnia or Croatia. Now I eat budek twice a day. My Yugoslavian part is really happy, but the German part really misses Schwarzbrot. Sometimes I really miss Germany, because of my friends and family. But I can't wait to experience the few months in my second home country, discovering more and more similarities with my personality.
Maxime, stop it!
Sarah, have you ever got your heart broken?
Yes, of course, but I think there's always a way to get over it. Like, for example, destroying your ex-partner's furniture with an axe.
And if you want to share some of your experiences or check the other people's breakups, you can always go to the Museum of Broken Relationship in Zagreb. And we are going to take you there now.
People fall in love, leave each other, get together again, but will definitely always carry something with them from their past relationships. This can be an object, a memory, or maybe a ritual.
To find more about relationships in Zagreb, we're now standing in the front of the Museum of Broken Relationships. It's located in our town of Zagreb and is dedicated to failed relationships.
In the museum, you can find all sorts of objects. You can find an axe, which was used by a woman to destroy her ex-lover's furniture. You can find shoes, a dress, and toys. But the whole collection is even broader. The museum was founded by two artists, Olinka Visica and Drazen Krubicic, after they broke up, ending a 4-year-long relationship. They didn't know how to divide the objects they owned together, so they started this project to give the objects a purpose. It turned out other people wanted to follow in their footsteps.
People started donating items to us, so afterwards it was only logical step to open over here a permanent location in Zagreb. So the whole point is for the visitors to read the stories that are behind the items. The stories are about breakups, of course, so we don't discriminate, and the items inside are not about breakups between love couples. You also have the broken relationship between a parent and a child and so on. The thing is, everybody can donate the item to us. It's very simple. You just have to fill out a short form online, print it out, sign it, and bring the item over here to us, or maybe send it by post office. Our collection contains more than 2,500 items, and it's still growing.
So what do Croatians think about giving away an object or a story about their previous relationships? Mladen and Nina are currently in a 3-year relationship, and they both have been to the museum.
I remember I was really enjoying it, and also at one moment I tried to submit my own object from a previous relationship, but the application was kind of long and complicated, so I gave up in the end. But yeah, I was...
What did you try to submit?
That's a long story. Better not to talk about it. But yeah, it was something from a previous relationship.
Sylvia also likes the idea of donating meaningful objects from previous relationships to the museum.
I think that, of course, each relationship has those objects for sure. I don't remember... I remember I was throwing some toys that I was given or something like that. I was throwing it away because I was all emotional about it. But actually I had one object here that my first boyfriend gave me. It's kind of explicit, but I don't feel bad about that object actually, and I think we separated on good terms, and we kind of stayed friends.
I think that all the people who put their exponents there,
they dealt with their
dealt with it, and they forget all the negative feelings, and they just see that their past relationships as anecdotes or something like that.
The founders of the museum describe it as a hologram of memories and emotions. In the museum, you can see around 100 items from all over the world, and each one is followed by a story you can read about. To share your memory with the whole world, you need a special kind of courage. We asked Mia, would she ever share her own breakup story?
I probably wouldn't. I will probably throw it away, burn it, or put it in the trash bin, something like that. So that's my story.
But Nina and Mladen think differently, at least now, when the end is not on the horizon.
If we broke up, I would maybe submit my toothbrush, because Mladen is always using my toothbrush, and I hate that.
And if I would have to submit something, that would definitely be a hair dryer, because that's what reminds me of her. she goes together very well with the sound of shh.
The Museum of Broken Relationships brings out a discussion and reflection about the fragility of human relationships. It reflects modern society issues along with growing population of single people and divorced marriages.
Who is calling you, Adam?
My mom.
Your mom?
Yeah.
Oh.
She can't answer.
So while we're getting from location to location, we are going to give you a few tips on how to stay in touch with your family back home. Here's tip 1. What I like to do is I like to record voice messages on my phone for people back home. So I'm now in WhatsApp, and I will choose my father. This is my father, and I would like to record. I'm now recording in messages, and yeah, that's great because you can do it on the tram, you can do it whenever, when you're walking. So it's optimal time management. Ja, superleuk. Ik ga weer een filmpje maken, misschien ook mensen naar de televisie. Het leuke is, ja, ik had een goede dag vandaag. Ik hoop jij ook.
And the tip 2 is to not underestimate the power of old-fashioned way of communicating, like posters.
Tip number 3. You can always just write a blog and to tell all of your friends and families all at once what you have been doing. You can post pictures, videos, and you can show all the places you have been.
So, tip 4, you can catch the highest signal here on this spot next to the door, or here in the TV studio, so you can be on the internet all day and do the movies.
And the last tip, tip 5, is to get your friends over here.
Yay!
Yeah! And not be lonely. So, hey guys, I have a bonus tip for you. Please, when you're in the tram or in Advent, anything, beware of the Christmas muggers and the Grinch muggers. Please, always keep your bag in your front. Otherwise, they can just come and take your wallet, and that's what happened to me today. I'm here at the police department in Zagreb, and so that's my bonus tip for you.
But there's definitely nothing you can't cure with the delicious food in Zagreb. Pleskavica, cevape and sarma. Really, the kitchen is diverse.
Yeah, even if you are vegan, there are some possibilities, as we found out.
The city of Zagreb is as diverse as it can be. From tradition to progress, from rich to poor, from hippie to professor. You can find anything in here. Today, we are going to follow one of Zagreb's 800,000 individual inhabitants.
Hey guys, I'm Birgit, I'm 22 years old and I'm living here in Zagreb during my Erasmus stay, and I'm showing you my vegan life here in Zagreb.
The first location she will show us today is Dolet's Market in the heart of Zagreb. Here she loves to buy fresh groceries. But why?
Well, I like the Dolet's Market. It's the biggest open market here in Croatia and in Zagreb. And you can see many different cultures because visitors all over the world come here, and you have different sounds, and I really like this cheddar. And you have a great offer on veggies and vegetables, and yeah, I like it. Hi, Mama.
While being here on Erasmus, Birgit already had her favorite places, favorite sellers. She can find everything she needs for a meal.
Do you think that it's expensive to be vegan? Well, you can live vegan on a budget, but it's sometimes expensive if you're trying to substitute meat or dairy products. So buying vegan cheeses and buying vegan meat is expensive than buying actually real meat. But you can make a lot of things at home for just a few money.
Not everything can be found in Dolet's Market though. For the rest, Birgit visits a local biomarket in Ilice. They offer organic products that are a little bit more expensive, but the selection, on the other hand, is quite big.
But as you can see, the prices are not so budget friendly. This costs me 20 kunas and it's only 100 grams.
After shopping, there comes cooking. From the groceries Birgit bought today, she wants to cook our reporters a proper meal. And that's what she grabbed for the meal today.
To su krastavci, miješana salata, paprika, klementina, limun, klice, mladi luk, crvena paprika, mrkvice. Dobro, krumpir nećemo trebati. Da, to je to.
The dish prepared today by Birgit is vegan summer rolls with seaweed and various dips. For the summer rolls, Birgit put fresh groceries in the rice paper and served them cold.
And that is a perfect summer roll. Yeah, here it is.
Now from a vegan point of view, how would you compare your life in Germany and in Croatia?
So, first of all, I love the markets here in Zagreb. You have so many cool vegetables and fruits which are from Croatia. If you're buying, vegetables and fruits in Germany, they are mostly imported from, the Netherlands or Spain or Italy. So to get local food and seasonal food, it's so easy to get them here in Croatia for a cheaper price than in Germany.
Being vegan is getting easier and easier all around the world, even in Zagreb. Birgit showed us today that there is a lot of vegan options in the city, whether it's groceries, restaurants, or even bio shops. Everything is here. Just grab your vegan recipe book and use your imagination.
Today we are filming in the dorm for our film about Sarah.
Where are you going?
Do you have to go to your room?
Where is your room? Come on.
As you will find out soon, Croatia is famous for rakia, but the beer is also really good.
By the way, I went to Zagreb Craft Beer Festival. Never miss an opportunity to drink a good beer.
No.
Europe's countries are different, but there's one thing that unites them all: beer. One movement is becoming louder and entering the international stage: craft beer movement. Zagreb doesn't escape this hype. It seems that craft beer culture has an impact not only on Croatia, but on whole Europe. Jinder came all the way from Sweden.
Yeah, we drink a lot of beers, and I recently heard on the radio, like, we have passed over 400 microbreweries in Sweden now. So the people there demand beer from smaller breweries where there's more passion and love in the manufacturing.
Over 20 local beer breweries came here to represent themselves and show what they have to offer. We met Igor, member of the Medvedgrad Brewery, one of the oldest beer breweries in Croatia.
I would say in the last 3-4 years people realize there's more than just the regular lager. People have been introduced to ales and all the styles within that category, starting with basic pale ales, India pale ales, going on to black IPAs, and even recently with sour beers.
There are more international guests on the festival. Egla from Lithuania and Tobias from Germany shared the same passion to their local beer habits.
In Lithuania, beer is the most popular drink. It's like our national drink that everybody drinks, everybody loves. We're quite not a wine drinking country, so we prefer beer, and if a strong drink, it's vodka. And in this past 5 years, craft beer gained a huge popularity in Lithuania. What about your country?
Well, in Germany, it's the same. Germany is the nation of beer. The mother of all beers coming from Germany. It's quite obvious.
We've got over 1,408 breweries that were active in 2016. I think that speaks for itself. And even microbrewing and craft beer is becoming more and more popular. If I think about my hometown, Mainz, for example, which is actually a city that lies in a wine region, the Rhine-Main area, even there we've got, I think, 2 or 3 microbreweries and craft beer breweries.
One of the local craft beer enthusiasts is Mladen Markovic. He's one of the main organizers of the Craft Beer Week.
The idea behind this craft beer movement was to produce interesting beers from natural ingredients and to kind of make certain statement versus generic industrial beers.
The Craft Beer Week has been organized in cooperation with the British Embassy, who brought here 15 British craft beer producers. The local brewer from Manchester, George, introduced us to the lively craft scene in his country.
So the British beer culture has got a very thriving independent small brewery scene. So you've got your big kind of like massive breweries, macro breweries that have been around for 50, 100 years. And that side of the market is kind of the biggest part, but it's staying very stagnant. And then you've got this huge growth, very small but growing very rapidly in sort of like the craft beer sector, which is much more, tends to be small independent businesses, and it's a bit more progressive with beer styles and more open to innovation and bringing in new ideas and developing new beer styles.
It was a Zagreb Craft Beer Week. We really enjoyed talking with organizers, customers and the brewers. And we did learn a lot about European beer drinking culture. See you next time. And that was it, our Erasmus guide for you guys, the next generation.
So just take it easy, and Professor Tanner is going to make a good journalist out of you.
Yeah, so what are you waiting for?